Good evening, everyone. Obviously, tonight's the remembrance show in memory of Graeme, who obviously has been sadly passed away. I didn't know him too well, unfortunately, so I'll keep it short. But since I couldn't be there tonight, I just wanted to pass on me, obviously, sincere condolences to everyone who ever knew or interacted with Graeme in any way. He's touched so many lives. You can see that through the outpouring of support on social media. He's obviously a fantastic gent. What a bloke, you know. Even the very limited times I've interacted with him, he was fantastically funny, larger than life personality. Really fantastic bloke. Real loss for obviously all of us in the Sunderland community. Everyone who knew and worked with Graeme, you know. The world in general has unfortunately lost a really good bloke. So, you know, I hope everyone finds some peace in coming together and remembering a fantastic life well lived.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Fans React. Tonight was meant to be a show full of laughter, and it was meant to be hosted by our friend Graeme, and the quiz was meant to be from him as well. However, we're all here under the circumstances we wish we would never have to be. But nonetheless, we're here to celebrate the life of an incredible man. And before we do anything, I think it's important that we all raise a drink to him. And everyone in the chat, if you all raise your drink, all raise your glasses, and we all drink to Graeme.
Graeme.
Yeah. So this evening, I'm very happy to be joined with three very important channel members and also myself as well. Hello, myself, Matthew Lead. First of all, Ben Carr. Hello, Ben. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Yeah, I'm well.
Good. And also Paul as well. A change of background for you, Paul. Do you want to tell everyone where you are currently? Not in Essex.
Yeah. Sorry, it's the first time I've just seen that tribute there. I had a proper lump in my throat. It was really well made, by the way, Matthew. Thanks for doing that. Yeah, I'm up north. I'm in the northeast. I'm at my parents' house at the minute. I'm going to the match tomorrow. So if anybody out there sees us, feel free to pop over, say hello, buy us a drink even. Yeah, so I'm going to Ipswich game tomorrow. I haven't been to a game for ages, obviously due to living far away and work commitments. But tomorrow would have been the first time I actually met Graeme in the flesh. So I'm absolutely gutted that never happened. But I'm looking forward to seeing everybody else and hopefully having a good result tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%. Hopefully we can get a massive win for Graeme. Also, Colin is here as well. Colin, you know, not the best circumstances, but how are you doing anyway?
Good, yeah. Fine. Just like you say, I wish this was not happening, to be honest. I wish we were doing our normal show with Graeme. But, you know, we have to do this, and it's great to be able to honour him because he was a fantastic man.
Yeah, 100%. And also as well, just joined Gary. I'm sure Gary has just jumped up from his Italian meal from his wife and just said he's got to go over and do something very, very important. But he's here anyway. Thank you for being here, Gary. How are you?
Yeah, mixed feelings really. On one level, thank you for inviting me because actually, no matter what else is going on, Graeme sort of like taught me a lot even in the last week.
Yeah.
You know, I sort of feel as though a thank you is quite deserving. And if it hasn't been said already, you know, I can remember, sorry, I'm digressing. I remember many years ago talking to somebody who was retiring, and he says, at the end of the day, it's about legacy. It's about what, you know, you leave and the influence you have on other people. And, you know, I know, you know, my relationship with Graeme, you know, we're not necessarily close, but, you know, I certainly would consider him a friend. But to see the tributes on Twitter and to hear people talking about him, it's really, and this may sound counterintuitive, but it's really life-affirming. Because actually, what a great guy, what remarkable energy he had, and what great, you know, what a very giving person to people, and that's come out, you know, right across, you know, his friends and contacts on Twitter. So I kind of want to say thank you to him really, because actually the last week has kind of like reminded me of some quite important values. I think Graeme had, and that's all come back to me as well. So thank you for having me on, because I wanted the opportunity to sort of like pay tribute to the man.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Guy, for coming on. Yeah, really nice, and I think we can all agree, really, yeah, how lucky we were to know him. We'll get onto that in just a second. I just wanted to say hello to the live chat. We've got a lot of people watching this evening, paying their respects. We really appreciate that. I'm really sorry if I can't read all your names out or read all your comments out, because I'll be here all night with the amount of lovely tributes that Graeme's been getting. But we've got Michael Bowers in here as well. Rip Graeme, you legend. Didn't interact much personally, but seeing the joy you brought to people gives me enough of an indication how loved you are. Stevie Mac as well. So rest in peace, Graeme. Acacia, Cameron Phillips, Clayton Edwards, AJJ, who was him and Graeme really got on very well. As well, and I'm really thankful as well that AJJ got to see Graeme and meet him at the last home game as well. So that was a lovely touch as well. Jam Sani, much love to you all. It's been a horrible couple of days for the SAFC community. We've lost a true gentleman and a brilliant human being. Rest in peace, Graeme. Patrick Ward, Joanne Punchin, Will Allen, Chris Scott, Ben Allison, Alex Kiriaki, which is my friend actually. And I will just share it now that the last time I saw Graeme was at QPR away, and I'm actually really thankful it was it was that occasion, because that was that day was sort of my treat to him. I gave him a free ticket. I had a spare ticket, and I said, look, just have it for free. I just came back from a job interview with LNER actually, and he'd helped me so much. And I just said to him, and I think he was a little bit hesitant at first to say, I'm not too sure if I can go, and there's a lot of things I need to sort out. But I insisted to him. I said no, you've got to come. You've got to come to QPR if you can. And yeah, so I got him the ticket. He came down to the pub. I brought my friend here, Alex, and two other mates as well. And we bought all of Graeme's pints in the pub. We'd really treated him to a nice evening. And Graeme met my friend Alex and two other mates as well, George and Ben. And even Alex was saying, I can't wait to see Graeme again after he met him for the first time, And George and Ben were the exact same. He's a great guy. We can't wait to meet him again. And I remember that was the last time I saw him, and he was sitting in the lower tier. I was sitting in the upper tier at QPR, and upper tier had to walk one way, lower tier had to walk another way. And I just shook his hand just before I left. And he looked me in the eye and he just said, "Thank you so much." But I'm like, he shouldn't have been thanking me, because he'd done so much for me. Like, it's an unbelievable amount of stuff that Graeme had done for me. But yeah, that was the last time I ever saw Graeme, and I'm really thankful that Alex got to meet him, and Alex met him once, and it had an effect on him. So it's an incredible effect that Graeme had on people. So I'll involve everyone else. Colin, would you agree that a great effect that Graeme had on people?
He was just an incredible man, to be honest with you. And you can't really say that lightly. He genuinely was. You know what I mean? I mean, during the COVID, obviously this channel was set up, and we went through the COVID times where we couldn't go to the football matches, so we all came together on here, and he was just instantly an infectious man that you instantly wanted to spend time with, because there were tough, difficult times, and I mean, it's still going on. You know what I mean? Fair enough, we can get to the match, but we all brightened each other's day, but he was a really bright spot. Every time you knew he was on, you knew you were going to have fun, you were going to enjoy it, because he was just such a lovely, likable man that would do anything for you, and that was without actually meeting him face to face at the time. You just knew what a genuine man. I want to spend time with this man. Through difficult times, he was here, and we all loved being in his company. And it is truly devastating that he's gone. It really is. But we've got to honour him. He'd want us to have a laugh. He'd want us to think about the good times. And one day I hope we do. I hope there's something after life eventually, because I want to meet him again. I really do.
Yeah.
what a lovely bloke. And I think I only met him once or twice, definitely once. I can't remember if I met him twice, but basically the effect he had, and I said this in my Twitter post, I'm a better person for knowing him, even if it was just through this. I'm definitely a better man for knowing him, and I thank him for that.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, we all agree with that. And I remember the first time that he met you, Colin, was there was the first match back at the Stadium of Light, wasn't it? And I'd obviously travelled up, and this is what was really special to me. And obviously, I'm really devastated he's gone, but I'm really happy in the sense of I got to have those really meaningful, you know, that really meaningful time with him, doing really meaningful things, going back to the Stadium of Light for the first time. You know, me and him, we travelled from the train from London King's Cross in the morning, up to Durham and then through to Sunderland. And, you know, I said to Graeme, I went, you just got to meet Colin, because obviously we were in the pub only a few days before, weren't we, Colin? Watching that shower of, you know, such and such against Lincoln, of course. And I honestly, I just had to say, you know, you've got the opportunity to see Colin. I said, you've just got to see him. So we know you managed to do that, even if it was just for a short time, but we did it. And even in the opening video there, we all got to take a picture together as well, which was really nice. Yeah. So Paul, I'll come to you. Obviously, you started the channel, and I think we all have a lot to thank you for anyway, because without you making the channel, none of us will have met Graeme. And it's a massive loss for our channel, Paul, isn't it?
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. I mean, it's a gap that I don't think could ever be filled, to be honest with you. I mean, we've got some fantastic people on here, but like when I started the channel, obviously I knew my brother Colin. He would come on. I knew he's the most passionate Sunderland fan I ever knew at the time, and I didn't have any clue where the channel was going to go, but I thought it's something I wanted to do. I love Sunderland. I might not be the most knowledgeable Sunderland fan, but I loved it, and I thought, is anybody else going to be interested? And luckily, there was a small amount of people that were interested. Yourself, Matthew, being one of them, and Gary, and Graeme, and there was a few others as well that took part in the first ever episode on the channel, which was basically just sending in a little clip of what you thought of the previous game. And I was over the moon with all of you, to be honest with you. But Graeme as well, he stood out massively, like straight away. You could tell he loved the club. He could talk about it well, and he was funny as well. I know everybody's going to say the same thing, but his humour was top class. It's probably the main thing I'm going to miss, because whenever I was on a live stream with him, he made us laugh at some point. I don't know if everybody's seen the Fancast episode I did with him as well. That's like about an hour and 45 minutes long, where it was just me and him chatting. And it's I don't know, it's the way he talks as well. It's not just what he says, it's the way he talks. It makes you listen. It's either something interesting or it's something funny. So yeah, it'd be missed massively. He's helped to get the channel to where it is, along with everybody else that's took part in the channel. I'll never ever forget him for that. I just wish I'm absolutely gutted that I didn't get a chance to meet him, because it would have been this Saturday. He would have been at the game. He would have been in here now, as you mentioned earlier at the beginning. He would have been in here now doing the show, talking about the game, and then I would have met him tomorrow. Would have had a few beers together. It's just gutting, just absolutely gutting. He's far too young. I mean, he was born a year before me, and I just can't believe it. Like every time I see it, when you did the tribute, I still just think of him as being there. Like, yeah, I just can't imagine that he's not there, and it'll take a long time to get over that, I think. But I just feel I'm really sorry for people that were, you know, really close to him, his wife, his kid, his family members, everybody. What they're going through is nothing. I'm going through nothing compared to what they're going through. So, yeah, that my thoughts go out to them more than anything else. And we're going to talk about Graeme for years to come. As long as his channel exists, he'll never ever be forgetting. So, yeah, if you can hear us on here, I just want to say a massive thank you. And I wish I'd get in to meet you, mate. So hopefully, like our Colin said, there's an afterlife. We can have a few beers, either up there or wherever it is. Yes, but yeah, I'm going to miss him massively. Yeah,
I was thinking, I certainly hope they've got Twitter in heaven, because if only he could read the kind of the tributes that he was getting. There were some that he was getting like I'll just tell everyone. So me, Dan Humphrey, and Graham, I think we all became quite close, and we had our own group chat, just the three of us, and we would always just like screenshot stuff off Twitter or whatever we seen. We put it straight in the group and like, what the hell's going on here? Like all the time, and it was that he was one of those people that I think you could just message any time, any day, just what was on your mind all the time. Like you just send him stuff, and you're going, oh, what the hell, what the hell's going on here? And it's really funny. And a few times I went to do that when I saw Frankie Francis replied to us, I think, giving his tribute, and I just went, oh, Graham's not going to believe this. That was the first thing in my head. Oh, Graham's not going to believe this. And then I just had in my head, like, all I want to do is just show him this, screenshot this and send it to him. And I think, that's, as you say, Paul, you kind of think he's still there. You can just watch what happened last week, on the streams, and he's just there talking. And you almost feel like you're in that stream again, and you're just talking to him, which is it's very, very sad, but it's just a great effect that he had on people, and great effect he had on me. I'm going to be talking quite a lot this evening. I've got quite a lot to say about it.
That's good. Yeah.
Ben, I really want to include you as well. Obviously, you joined the channel.
Sorry to interrupt. I know Ben needs to have his say. As you know, I'm elsewhere this weekend, so I'm going to drop off.
Okay.
But just before I do, I'm going to take the opportunity to raise a glass to Graham.
Thanks, Gary.
We'll do that as well.
Have a small something. He'd probably see what's in my glass and tell me I'm some kind of Southern Yorkshire weakling for daring to something other than Stella. And I'm not going out for a curry tonight, and he'd slap me for that as well. But anyway, thank you for having me on, lads. It's nice
Thanks
to
for
be
coming on,
to
Gary.
I'll
See you, Gary.
We'll all
Enjoy your evening, mate.
Going in. So I'll say good night.
Good night, mate.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary.
Take care, guys.
See you later. Take care. So Ben, I wanted to just come in and include you. Obviously, you joined the channel. I think back in March now. I think I believe it was. I remember it was just after we beat Tranmere at Wembley. You joined the. Did you watch the channel before? Have you seen us? Did you watch Graham at all?
Yeah, I watched a couple of things. I watched the fan cast that Paul did with Graham, and then I sort of knew about the channel a little bit before, and then obviously sort of get myself in. But I was never lucky enough to meet Graham in the flesh. But every time we did a stream together, it was just such a laugh, wasn't it? He just always had such great crack and great banter. Like you never knew, like if he was going to say something serious or just come out with something so ridiculous, or it was just it was great to be able to do that with him. And I think we're all going to miss him. He's going to be a massive loss, for all of us. Obviously for his close family and friends, and for the channel. So yeah, it's really devastating.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I'll just go back to the live chat. We've got Stevie saying Matthew introduced my son and myself to Mr. Graeme Wright. It was at Lincoln, but I did see him at Burton as well. But he introduced me to Graeme in that few minutes. It was as if I'd known him all my life, and it'll be a big miss to the Mackem community. I actually said, and I don't know if you'll agree here, but with Graeme going, I honestly think that it is the biggest loss to the SAFC fan community. I think possibly ever for what that man did to help other fans get to the games. If it wasn't for him, I certainly wouldn't have been able to make every home game this season, or I certainly wouldn't be able to make Lincoln in the Papa John's Trophy on a Tuesday evening. Just little things like that. And I'm extremely grateful to him for that, because I think, although he could have been very selfish in wanting to go to those games just himself, and not really think about others, but he didn't. He said to me, are you going to Lincoln? And I said, well, I'd like to go, of course. And one thing he said, okay, well, come to first of all, what I'll say is that he said, do you want to go to the Lincoln game? And I said, yes, of course. Any chance I got to see Graham, do anything, go anywhere with Graeme, you know, I took that opportunity, and that's why I can sit here now and I can at least smile about that, because I took advantage of every opportunity that I got to. There was never one time where I said, oh, you know, I'm a bit tired, I can't really be bothered, you know, like I'm not really too fussed. But I went and that Lincoln game, I drove to Stevenage, which is only about maybe half an hour, 40 minutes from where I live, and I met him at Stevenage. We got the train from Stevenage to Lincoln on LNER. Obviously he's got his pass thing, so I just travelled with him. He said, don't buy a ticket or anything like that. So I went to Lincoln, probably spent about £5, and that was the £5 was on a hot dog, which wasn't very good. I didn't rate at all, but that was the only money that I spent all evening. But that was because of him. That's because he took me to the game. And when I sat there and I said thank you to him, he just went, it's nothing. Yeah, you know what I mean, that almost to him was just nothing. That was just, so that was one thing that really struck me about him, which was incredible. So yeah, great guy. I've got plenty of things I've written down to say about him. James J says, only knew Graeme from watching the channel, and I always look forward to his witty and knowledgeable views. This is a great tribute, and I feel for you, your lads, and Graham's family. Absolutely. Clayton Edwards says, when he messed that quiz up one time, got me howling. Well, I think the funny thing is Graeme would always be very quick to critique everyone else. You know, I remember. I don't know if I still have. Yeah, I do. When I showed this on the stream, I have never seen anyone have more of a meltdown in my life than Graeme. He was not happy.
I remember, yeah.
You remember that, Ben? He was not happy. He was not happy at that.
He was not happy with you at all.
No, he certainly was. So when he kind of, you know, slipped up in one of, you know, making one of the quizzes, he that was quite fun. We had many great times. Remember that time, Paul, when you know, that you cheated? That was quite fun.
That was fantastic. I spoke to him because I knew Graeme was doing the quiz, and I said, you know, I'm terrible at the quizzes. I always am. I probably last every time. But I sent Graeme a message saying, we'll come on a couple of hours or an hour or so before the actual stream. We'll go through the questions, give us all the answers, and we'll just see Matthew's reaction, because Matthew hates to be beat when it comes to anything. So we did that, and when it came to the live stream, obviously I got every single answer right. Matthew was like in total shock, but it was just so funny, like the way we did it together. It was so snide, and at the end, like, I just wanted to keep it going, but Graeme sort of said, right, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was like,
I remember he went, this is Sky Sports News. SAFC fans react, have got to cheat. I remember that, and that's what he was saying. And do you know what, actually, now I'll say this. I cheated for one of the questions, and put it in simple terms, I shit myself because I thought that he saw me like looking at my phone like for one of the questions. So when he said that, I'm like, how does he know that? But then obviously, yeah, I was quite relieved, but I was shocked at the same time.
So now we know you do cheat for some of the questions anyway.
Well, I cheated for one, and I remember it was for beating Oxford 7-0, and like who were the goal scorers. Because I think the reason why I did that, Paul, is because I didn't want to lose to you. So I was just like, I'm just going to have to.
Yeah, you weren't used to seeing me getting all the questions right with you. So, but yeah, thanks to Graeme, I actually did win a quiz once, even if it was illegally.
If I remember rightly, I think did I actually win that one?
Yes, you did. Yeah.
For you, I think.
Well, actually, you came second behind the cheat. But...
Yeah. I remember that one well, because like you say, it's only one I ever won.
Yeah, I think, Paul, you managed to get 23 out of 20. That was what you got there.
Yeah, because
obviously some points were double points, weren't there?
Yeah, but the actual score was something like 4 out of 20 that I got right originally when I did the quiz with Graeme. I did it like officially, like he asked us the questions, and so that we knew what my real score would be, and it was like 4 out of 20. So for me to get the 23 out of 20 was brilliant.
Wow. Well, yeah,
I went straight first, to be honest.
I know, it's pretty good. I remember there was one question, wasn't there, like about Chaluska or something like that, of what club did he come from, and it was like Transporo or something like. I can't remember what it's called. And you managed to get that.
I'm just looking through my phone. I don't know if I'm getting rid of it or not, but I did have a screenshot of your reaction. Oh, it's gone.
I think. Do you know? I think it's best. I think it's best. I think that's a good job. It's gone actually. Just a picture of there with my mouth wide open. Yeah, probably not the best. On the chat, we've got Hanny95 donating for $4.49, which is kindly appreciated. A super sticker, and also Aaron James as well. £5, monumentous loss to the community. Thoughts out to his family.
Can I just say quickly? Appreciate people sending in money. That's perfectly fine. Anything that we do make does go to the channel, but this video, obviously, it's not going to be monetized. It's not here. We're doing it as a tribute to Graeme. But I do really appreciate anybody that has done so, but don't feel like you have to. This is just purely for Graeme, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. Ben, do you have a favourite moment at all, or a favourite stream that you were on with Graeme at all?
Blimey.
There's too many, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, probably every stream that I was with Graeme was always funny. You know, he always said something that I thought, gosh, you know, like just proper Graeme humour, you know, but it was just really funny. I think probably one stream we did just recently, actually, before I started using my mum's computer for the live streams. I think Gary hosted and Graeme was on, and he was giving me stick about me like 5-second lag. And we said after the stream, he said, "Oh, you know, I'll if you want, I'll sell you my old computer." So I but I'll give you 10 cans of Stella for it. Just replied and said, "Oh, piss off." You know? But you know, every stream with Graeme was great, wasn't it? You know, such crack and such wit, you know. So
yeah, it felt like that, didn't it? It was like after every stream, it's what he said about the last one, wasn't it? If you remember, Paul, he was just went, that was like one of my favorite ones we've ever done. Or after every stream, it was like, that was really good, or that was my favorite one. And it just seemed like every stream that we did was even funnier. It was even better, and it was just so entertaining. And you know what? Obviously, being on the streams was you know, I mean, you got to be quite switched on. You know, you've always got to be listening to people. It's very easy to just sort of, you know, read the chat and then sort of switch off. You know, because I'm not the best at multitasking. You know, I'm not going to lie. So it was quite difficult. You know, to sort of to keep up with everything. And yeah. So when I watched it back afterwards, I was just laughing all the way through. I really was. And I remember my favorite one that we ever did. A favorite ever stream that we did on this channel was probably the season review of last season. Now I remember that being about nearly 2 hours long. That one, that was about the same sort of hour 45, 50 minutes, something like that. And it was me, Paul, Sean, Gary, and Graeme, I think, and we were just arguing about, you know, like Lee Burge and everything. It was so entertaining. It was so funny, and it was what I was. So sometimes when I struggle to sort of send myself off to sleep, I watch back the shows that we've done before, and I sort of let them play by my side, and I just sort of listen to them. And it was that one I was listening to Tuesday night, because I listened to all of it. I listened to nearly 2 hours of it. And it was quite weird, but I was just laughing all the way through, laughing at everything Graeme said. You know, all the arguments that everyone was having with each other. It was so entertaining, and yeah, like, so that was pretty much the last thing, you know. And then obviously we found out about, you know, Graeme going the next day. So, you know, it was really, 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 really sad. But at the same time, I'll always watch those streams back, and I'll always laugh at them, because they were just absolutely brilliant, so entertaining. And one thing I never want this channel to turn out to is just very serious talking about something, like really serious, you know, and everyone's there, you know, we're all drinking water, and everyone's just like, there's no laughs or anything like that. And, you know, you're talking about Sunderland, you mean so serious. I never want their channel to ever be like that, and it never ever was, and it hopefully never ever will.
No, well, I definitely won't be drinking water on any of the streams to start. No, I totally agree with you. There is times I do like to watch it in a serious stream, and we do have moments of that. But you've got to have a bit of humor in there, and I think Graeme was the elite at giving that the channel that bit. When I spoke earlier about there being a hole. Obviously, we're all see our own little funny things now and again, but like he could just snap stuff out of absolutely nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You least expected it.
Yeah. It's just great to watch, and I think if people say you don't know what you've got till they're gone, we knew what we had, but I think now it has gone. It just emphasizes how big a person he was for us, for the channel. And how just great he was. I mean, them tributes you mentioned earlier on, I've gone through as many as I could.
Yeah.
But I've probably missed hundreds of them. Hundreds.
Yeah.
The tributes is incredible. It just shows you the impact he's had on everybody, not just in the Sunderland community, but especially with the train community as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The tributes were incredible, and one thing I think I encouraged Ben to do, and I spoke on the phone with you as well, Paul, is just all you need to do is just read Twitter. Because sometimes that isn't very good, But sometimes the last thing you want to ever do is read Twitter. However, on this occasion, if you read it's honestly incredible. I think it was trending in the UK as well. Rest in Peace Graeme was trending in the UK, and it was unbelievable. It honestly was, and I think it's incredible as well. And as I've written in the banner, the ticker going along the bottom, it's amazing how many lives that he touched. Even if, as I say, even if you met Graeme once, you'd always remember him. And I think what I've seen as well is people that even were passengers on his train, they remember him. Like how often do you ever take public transport or you take the train, and do you remember the train crew? It's not very often, but if you're ever on Graeme's train, you'd always remember. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to read the live chat out because there's another thing I want to say as well, which is quite special. So we've got Jack Dodds in here as well. It says, "Hi lads, I hope you're all holding up. The world has truly lost a special person in Graeme. My heart goes out to all his friends and family, and what must be a horrific time. Rest in peace, Graeme." Amy Reeve as well, Colin's daughter there. My favourite all time will always be the camera zooming in on Graeme while he was eating. His face was priceless. And I think, do you know what as well? We all know Graeme as this wit to just say anything or come out with anything. But that was sort of one time he has honestly been speechless. Like he is. Yeah. He was speechless. Yeah.
There was that time, and during the fan cast when he said he was punching with his wife Joanne.
Oh, yeah.
His reaction was, because I asked him, "What, you with Joanne punching?" And he didn't know what to say. He was like, you could tell he wasn't impressed with this, but it's very rare you get him speechless like that. So you didn't know.
Yeah, absolutely. John Marshall, who's I'll just mention John. So John is one of Graeme's best mates and has been really, really good to me. Him and his daughter Grace, two again unbelievable people, just like Graeme. They really care about people, and hopefully I'll get to see you guys on Saturday, and we'll have a drink if we can as well. So yeah, just want to say that because his comment is one of the best announcements he made when on the train is arriving into Newcastle. Now, I think I'm so lucky again to have experienced this because when COVID hit, the last time I went to Sunderland was August of 2020, and then obviously when COVID started, so that was let me try and think. Yeah, so in between the COVID, so I managed to get there in the summer, and then obviously we had that third or second or whatever, we were in that lockdown, and I never got to go back to Sunderland, and it was all I ever wanted to do, because in my head I was just like, so much has happened, I've been stuck in my house, all I really want to do is just walk on the beach from Roker, like through Seaburn up to Whitburn. You know what I mean? I just want to go on that lovely long walk, and I just want to experience that. And I got one opportunity. It was when the old health secretary said you can travel anywhere in the country. He didn't have to say anything more. I just immediately I booked a train, and I said I'm going to go to Sunderland. I didn't tell my dad, but I've decided I'm going to go. I was catching it was 7:20 something from King's Cross on LNER, and I messaged Graeme. I said, obviously there's loads and loads and loads of trains that leave in one day from King's Cross, absolutely tons. And I just said to him, by the way, I'm on this LNER train, any chance you're working? And he says 7:25. Yeah, that's me. That's my train. And I says, that's unbelievable. That is. So the first time I managed to go back to Sunderland on the train, he was my train manager. And he was in charge of the train, and that was incredible as well. It's just how things happened like that. And that was the first time I ever met him in person. I remember it was outside King's Cross. He was in the smoking area with his colleagues, and you can spot Graeme from a mile away. I was thinking, are you going to recognise someone in person as you do through a screen? Because sometimes it's quite difficult, to be honest with you. Because I've seen a few people, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's them from whatever. So I looked over and I saw Graeme, and you could spot her from a mile away. To be honest with you, it's so recognisable. And I went up to him and I just sort of tapped him on the back, and in his loud, deep voice, he just went, "Who the hell is that?" And he just sort of turned around and saw me, and just the biggest smile on his face came out, and he just said, all he said, he was just, "Oh, it's great to see you" and stuff. We're just talking, and he said, "If there's space on the train," he says, "I'll move you up to first class and whatever." And I was on board in the train. He jumps off and he says, "So go to this seat. This is your seat." And I went, "Oh, brilliant!" It was a first class seat. So I sat there. He told all the train staff to look after me and everything. So I had a lovely journey. It was just that. It was just that sort of the whole experience of the morning, King's Cross. I got to meet Graeme for the first time, and then I travelled to Sunderland and I got to meet other people for the first time as well, which was lovely. So first time I actually go back to Sunderland, he was my train manager. And yeah, that was just incredible the way it worked. So that was a really other nice thing. Really pleased to have experienced. And that train announcement arriving at Newcastle, he gave a history lesson on all of the bridges, and he said if you do want to get out of this city as quickly as possible or something like that, he said you can take trains to wherever, connecting trains to whatnot. And when he said Sunderland, he's made it very clear it wasn't Sunderland, it was God's country of Sunderland. When he said that as well. So yeah, I'm really pleased as well to have another thing I just managed to experience with Graeme as well. So many things trying to read out here. Trisha as well, Sean's mum, is donated $8.99. So again, really appreciate that donation as well. Bradley Young saying, "My best memory was when you did the Papa John's Trophy stream. Lasted over 7 hours. That was quite a long stream, to be fair. That one there, but we're all very happy after it as well." Joanne Punchin, $17.99. Thank you very much, Joanne. The Black Cat Podcast, Carl Mawson's £5. Graeme will be a huge miss to everyone. Amazing tribute, lads, to an absolute legend. Rest in peace, Graeme. And yes, and Carl Mawson sent another £5. Must be making a lot of money, Carl. Our thoughts and prayers go to Graeme's family and friends, for everyone at Black Cat Podcast and Black Cat Rovers FC. It's very, very, very nice of you, Carl. One thing I did want to do as well is one member that couldn't be on the stream today, as he's quite busy on his driving lesson, and he said as well to me, Matthew, I'm probably not ready to come on and speak about Graeme. To be honest with you, probably neither am I, but I wanted to speak to everyone here about him, and I wanted to share my experiences of Graeme. But Dan wrote something for Graeme that he'd like me to read out. But I'd first read out. Dan asked me if I could read out the tweet that he put out about Graeme, so I'll just read it. So Dan Humphrey said, "Absolutely shocked and saddened to lose the most hilarious, kind and passionate SAFC fan and overall human being who I am proud to have called a very good friend. He'll be sorely missed, and those live streams and trips to the Stadium of Light will never quite feel the same. Rest in peace, Graeme." He also he wrote like a little poem as well to Graeme as well. So I put some pictures on the screen, and I'll read through that poem that he wrote as well. So I'll let that play through, and I'll read it to you. So he says, "Dear Mr. Wright, the chairman of the 1829 Poppadom Club. The 1829 train is the train Dan used to catch back from, well, me, Graeme, and Dan used to catch back from Newcastle back to London. So he's the chairman of the 1829 Poppadom Club, and a man who loved posting his grub, who rarely ever talked shite. You always put a smile on my face with your witty banter and disgust of Fanta. Even when Sunderland were a disgrace, I think it will be endless, and we will never forget you, especially when I hear those words of you. Absolutely fucking tremendous. That's from Dan. So yeah, that's really, really nice. Yeah, I also want to say as well, you know, Graeme never really understood how much. We were saying this before the stream as well, guys. When Graeme really never understood how much people adored him and how much people liked him. And I tried telling this to him before, but you know, all he ever wanted to do was just put smiles on people's faces and simply saying thank you to him for that. Just, you know, it was nice of you to say that, but all that was just simply him just being him. And yeah, but he's an unbelievable person. He really, really is. I just remember when I was talking to him on the train, he was usually getting off at Peterborough. And I remember sort of just looking where the train was and wanting the journey to just keep going, because I just wanted to keep talking to him. I didn't want to stop, you know, talking to him. You know, I just, you know, so the closer it got, and you know, the time when it came to his stop and he had to get off, I was really, you know, really quite sad, because I absolutely adored Graeme. I really, really did. He honestly did so much for me. And one thing I want to tell everyone as well, and that I'm, you know, not from a selfish point of view, but I want to explain why I'm going to say this as well, is that from a very young age, now I'm, you know, as you can tell, I'm a Southerner. I'm from Essex. I grew up in Essex. But one thing I've always wanted to do is I just want to move to the Northeast, and I want to be part of, you know, I want to be there all the time. I absolutely love it. As I was telling Colin, I've already told you before, Colin, how much I wanted to move up and everything like that. And I always remember the first person to tell me not to do it was Graeme. And you know, I kept going on and I kept saying to him, you know, I'm just not happy with where I'm living, and I've got to leave, and you know, I've just got to change something in my life, and I think that'd be the best thing for me. And with the help of Graeme, a job came up at LNER, and I based out in the Northeast, and he helped me sort of apply for the job. I applied, I went for the interview, and I've got the job, and I'll be moving to the Northeast in the new year, and that is thanks to Graeme. And it's going to be so nice for me to, you know, not only will I be able to do that, but also working for LNER as well, which is, you know, it's a world that it's been a massive part of his life, as well as sort of the Sunderland community as well, which is absolutely incredible. You know, you could read the tributes for ages about, you know, from all the different worlds he was a part of. He was also a big Castleford Tigers fan as well, the rugby league. So a lot of people there really miss him from that. You know, he had a flight simulator as well. People he used to, you know, go on the flight simulator with, they absolutely miss him too. It's just so many worlds that he was a part of, and it's going to be really nice for me, especially as well. I think his son works in the same department as well, which is going to be really, really lovely. So I just want to say thank you again to Graeme for helping me achieve that. To be honest with you, he's absolutely incredible man, and I'd say the most incredible person I think I've ever met. Honestly, he truly was. So yeah, it will never be replaced. And yeah, that's what I have to pretty much say about.
No, I totally agree. I mean, I got Matthew, because I wasn't meant to be coming on the stream, and I says, I'm going to come on. I want to come on it, and he was like, "Do you want to host it?" I was like, "To be honest, mate, no, there's nobody better to host it than Matthew, because he knew him better than probably all of us. You know what I mean? We spoke on here quite a lot, but it was all about Sunderland. Matthew had a bit more of an in-depth relationship with him in terms of as far as you can do from, you know. But it's just such a shock still. That's what I can't get over. I can't just get over that he's not here. But we're going to carry on. He would want us, like Colin said earlier on, he would want us to have a great day on Saturday, a few beers in his name, as much laughs as we can, and he'll want this channel to succeed. And that's what we're going to do for him. You know what I mean? That's our aim. That's our goal. But the channel has been fantastic, and it's just not going to be the same without him. So as far as I'm concerned, like, I don't know how we're going to fill the gap, but we're going to do our best to do it.
100%. And I remember one of the things he was saying to me at sort of the end of last season was he said, you know, I think it's time, you know, you take this channel really seriously, and you know, what he was saying was have a clear out of some people that are on the channel that maybe aren't as good as other people. You know, he wasn't saying that to be horrible towards anyone. He just said it because it was the best thing for the channel moving forward. And he said, one of the main things he said to me is, you know, if it's me, then so be it. You get rid of me, but I want this channel to do as best it possibly can. And I just immediately, like, it was so nice what he was saying. And I realize it now, how, you know, how much he cared about this channel. But it was the fact as well that he said that, you know, that he almost saw himself as not important on the channel, you know, as other people were. And I've, you know, but that's just the way he was. He never ever realized, you know, how brilliant he was. And all I want to do now is just show him the fantastic tributes that he's been getting, because they really are really are incredible. But I think Graeme will be an irreplaceable person.
100%.
Absolutely. So I feel like I've been talking for about 20 minutes here. Sorry. But Colin, did you want to add anything or say anything else about him?
Just literally what we were just all saying. Basically, I wouldn't even say I've got one particular favourite show with him in, as Ben said, and I think as Rawal said, because he was just so infectious. There was always something going on in the show when he was on it. You know what I mean? Whether we'd had a fantastic result and we were all sky high, or whether we'd played poorly and, you know, we were a bit downbeat, he would still have us laughing within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And the best thing about it was, like, he, as much as he could be so funny, he was still very intelligent and very knowledgeable about some football club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was still very interesting. It wasn't just a joke, a laugh every 5 minutes. He was still very knowledgeable and very interesting to listen to. And somebody, I can't remember who said it before, but the way he spoke with a presence, so that you instantly took notice, you instantly sat up and listened. Do you know what I mean? Whether it was funny, whether it was knowledgeable, whether it was interesting. And as I said before, he's such an infectious man that it was just impossible. I don't think there'd be anybody who ever met him, whether it was through this, whether it was just through a video stream like this, or whether it was in person. I couldn't say they didn't like him, because it would have been impossible. Yeah,
and to be honest with you, Colin, you know he liked you. He loved having you on the stream. You know what I mean? I showed you that. Yeah. I showed you that. Yeah, he said in the fan cast that he loved you. He thought you were always a giggle, a good laugh. You know, he never had a bad word to say about anybody really. And the channel's been contacted by a Speak Safka guy on there called Josh, who he's doing like a tribute. He's working at university to become a journalist. He wants to do a tribute article about Graeme. So I spoke to Matthew about it. He's obviously happy to do it as well. So he's going to get more people talking about him, seeing how great he was, and that I've submitted something. There's more coming. So yeah, we'll post all that on the social media about it, because everybody just wants to know about him. But if you haven't seen the Fancast episode, you get to hear it from the horse's mouth what he was like. He talks about all sorts on there. Like I say, it's quite a long one. So just check it out. Just type in Fancast, Graeme Red Leader Wright. It'll come up on YouTube. Give that a watch. This is not for views. This is just if you want to learn more about Graeme. Absolutely cracking lad.
Yeah.
He basically, I mean, Matthew, as we were saying before, you couldn't get a better host today, because I think out of everybody on this fantastic channel, I think you were the closest to him. And, you know, and I'm very happy to sit here and listen to your experiences, things that I wouldn't have known, you know what I mean? Funny things that you've experienced with him. And this is all part of trying to remember the man. Things that we just all want to remember, because he was that special to us all. And he was, as I said before, I don't think he actually realised how well thought of he was.
Yeah.
With everybody, not just this Fans React, but with everybody. You know what I mean? I think you'd be actually quite taken aback by the response everywhere.
Yeah.
And he was such a humble man as well. He was, there was nothing, me sort of attitude about the man. He was just everything. There was nothing that you couldn't like about him. Nothing.
Yeah. There's people in the chat, Matthew, asking about if he will get a mention at the game tomorrow. I think you've got
Well, I was about to get on with I was about to share that information. So tomorrow at the game, I've spoken to the people at the club, and they said they're very happy to do a little tribute for him, and that'll be done at half-time. So hopefully they've got a message, and they've also got his picture as well. I believe it'll be the picture with Kevin Ball that they're going to put on the screen, and they're going to put a message that I wrote as well next to it, and hopefully they read that bit out as well. But yeah, the club will acknowledge his death, and it'll be really special. And I think tomorrow's going to be. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to waking up really early in the morning. I do have to say as well, but I'm looking forward to going to the match, as I've missed it. We haven't been for brought to the Stadium of Light for a few weeks now, and if we can win, it would be really, it'd be amazing, to be honest with you. It would be really amazing. And I haven't even thought about football once this week, to be honest with you. Hasn't even crossed my mind. All this Lee Johnson out business, shake it all about. I don't care. Honestly, I really don't care. I think the best thing we could do on Saturday, back everyone, back all the players, back the team, and just win. I want to just get a win for Graeme, and I just really want to get promoted. But yeah, as we're saying earlier, sorry, Paul, you're going to say something?
I was going to say, when Graeme, at the end of every stream, we put predictions out and stuff. Graeme was always optimistic as well. Like sometimes I'm overly optimistic, but Graeme was he was just optimistic, and I think that's what I'll be hoping. But we all hope we're going to get a win. But this is a more important win than anything for me, just because it would make the day more special. Obviously, for me, the whole day, from the second I wake up, it's going to be just a tribute to him. I want to experience a good day just for him. Do you know what I mean? So a win would top that off. Obviously, we have no effect on what the players do or how they perform, but that would be the icing on the cake, definitely.
Oh, it definitely would. I was going to say as well, like we learned so much from Graeme. I learned so much from Graeme. I'm never going to hide the fact that I idolized Graeme, and I spent all that time with him because I wanted to learn from him. I went to school for like 16 odd years or whatever. And I learned more from Graeme than I ever learned from school. I learned more from that man, and he's taught us so many lessons. And I think him going is going to teach us another lesson as well. But one thing I was really happy to do is I always took every opportunity for. I always cherished every opportunity I got. I never took it for granted, and I think that was one thing maybe the lockdown taught us as well, is that whenever we have a chance to go to a Sunderland game, or to see a friend, or to see someone, always make the most of that opportunity, because you really, and people said this before, and you're like, yeah, whatever, shut up. You never really know when you're going to see someone for the last time. You'll never ever know, and I would never ever have known that the last time I was going to see Graeme was at QPR, and I was really, and that's why I'm really happy that that was kind of my treat that day. You know, I treated him to the ticket, treated him to, you know, bought him the pints, and that clearly meant a lot to him. And yeah, every opportunity I got, you know, I even I remember when we were doing the draw for the, I can't remember what round it was, but the draw we actually, when they did the draw, when we got QPR in the cup, where they were doing the draw wasn't too far away from where Graeme lived in Bedfordshire. And it's about maybe 45 minutes for me. And I messaged Graeme and I said, oh, do you know what? I said, why don't we go and try and get in? And so I jumped in my car. I sped up to, well, I didn't speed, by the way, but I got to Graeme's house, you know, quickly as possible. And I picked him up, and, you know, we drove to where they were doing the draw. Obviously, no surprise, didn't let us in. Although they had every other fan from every other team apart from Sunderland who were in the draw, and we're there, two of us, and they wouldn't let us in. But anyway, he said, "Oh, do you know what? We're just gonna have to go back." He said, "We just sit in my front room and we'll watch it." So we went there, and, you know, we watched it and just had a lovely chat. And that was one occasion where I think in my mind now, like, thank God I did that, you know, because I got to go to where he lives. I got to see where he did his streams and stuff, and it really was just, it is so nice. And we had a really nice evening, and that's just an example of, I'm really glad to have made the most out of those opportunities, you know, really did. And, you know, he helped us, you know, all through so much when that horrible time of not being able to go to the football games, you know, because we really missed that match day routine of waking up in the morning excited. As you say, Paul, it's sort of when you wake up in the morning, you're excited for the match, you know, excited to go, excited to see everyone in the pub beforehand. We didn't have that for so long. My routine was rolling out of that bed at about 12:30 and going live at 1 o'clock, you know, and just laughing all the way through, really. And I think, thank God, we had that, because it kept us all connected, it kept us all together. And, you know, we had Graeme there as well, who made us all laugh all the way through. We got through that hard time, and we experienced to have a really good time with him as well. So it just, like, honestly, a message to everyone, like, always cherish that moments you get. Never ever take it for granted. If you have an opportunity to see your friend, you have an opportunity to go to the football with them, never ever turn that down, because you really don't know when the last time you're ever going to see them is. Never ever do, because he's a massive miss. But I'm really pleased that I've we had that experience from him. But everything is really nice. And I think, you know, at the age of 45, which you know he was, is really sad, way too early. But I do want to let everyone know, so no one speculates anything. Graeme died peacefully in his sleep, at home, in his own home. You know, completely chilled out. I think it was in the evening, you know, he was chilling out watching TV after a long day, because he worked very hard, and it was very simply just in his sleep. And when we woke up in the morning, he was gone. So I hope that he was having really nice dreams at the time. And you know, we everyone was always in his thoughts. And yeah, he never took it for granted as well. And he had an unbelievable life, really did. So yeah, I just wanted to say that to everyone. And I don't think I've missed anything I wanted to say that I should have. No,
Hey, Matthew, can I just say really quick?
Yep, go on.
This must be really hard for you, you know, doing this tonight. And I think you've done absolutely amazingly well to be able to do what you've done tonight. So I just want to say a massive credit to you, mate. Really big credit, because this must be really difficult and heartbreaking for you. So to be able to come on and do this, share all of this stuff, you know, you're pouring your heart out on the live stream here, and you know, just absolutely credit to you. But you know, I think, you know, being able to do this, I think is fantastic, isn't it? You know, being able to mourn someone so special like Graeme together like this, I think it's just absolutely amazing. So, but hats off to you, Matthew. Really hats off, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's not just, I mean, everybody, there's people in the chat saying exactly the same thing. I obviously I can't really say anything more than that. Ben said it perfectly. I just, you know, you've always been a great speaker of Sunderland. you know, like I said earlier on, when Graeme sent his clip in, I knew I wanted him on there all the time. You were no different. Like, I thought, is he really that age? I thought you were like way older just from the way you spoke about Sunderland. Like, you've got a very wise head. You speak really well, and like you see things that, like, I'm 45-year-old, like I can't. I'm 44, sorry, 44-year-old. I can't speak like that. You know what I mean? So, like, what you do for the channel, what you've always done for the channel, is fantastic, and I really appreciate it, mate. So thanks for doing this.
We all do.
This show
We're all part of the team. We all appreciate it. You're very knowledgeable and very eloquent, and you're a fantastic host. And I second that. What you've done tonight is brilliant. The video, very spot on. You'll be looking down proud of what you've done.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, as I say, I got the opportunity soon, thanks to him, really, and yeah, I honestly, yeah, just finally, because I think we've sort of gone to an hour, and yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone watching. But yeah, he's honestly, I've never met anyone that's helped me so much in my life, and I'm really gonna miss you, Graeme. I really am. So yeah, but I think we'll cut it there for one evening.
Yeah,
if that's all right.
Everybody I know we've missed loads of comments. People's even donated to the channel, which we've missed in that, but this was all about Graeme. We appreciate all the comments, and I've read them as they've been coming through. I'm sure we all have. So really appreciate you just tuning in just for this tribute to him. It'll be on the channel forever. You can watch it back, and yeah, just thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it, and we'll just make sure this channel continues.
One more raise the glass to him, please.
Yeah.
He was a true legend. He really was to us all. To Graeme.
To Graeme.
The brightest star in the sky tonight.
Definitely. So yeah, that's pretty much it then, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. Thank you very much for tuning in. All the lovely comments. And yeah, this channel will never be the same without Graeme. But it will also be nothing without you guys as well. So really appreciate you all dropping by and paying your respects to him. But yeah, so to everyone, to Graeme, most importantly, we love you, Graeme. We hope to meet you again, and rest in peace, my friends.